Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my April favorites. This is a pretty unique month for me. I feel like this was the first month that I've really focused on products already in my collection rather than cycling in new makeup that I've been buying. I've been better, not great, about not buying a ton of new makeup. So a lot of these items are not that new. There's a couple of newer items, but nothing that I went out and purchased, like nothing that I actually purchased this month. So if you guys are interested in seeing the products that I was loving in the month of April, then just keep watching. Alright guys, to start it out, I rediscovered the Brazilian Boom Boom Cream. I have a travel size here. I have like 3 other travelers to get through as well as a full size. This had just been like kind of gotten forgotten about, and I freaking love this stuff just like everyone else. So I have been using this just about every day this month, and I have rediscovered how much I truly do love this. I'm bringing this with me to Vegas this month because this does give that nice just like shimmering glow and just makes your body just look better, in my opinion. So that is the first item that I've rediscovered and relearned to love this month. Next up is a rediscovery. This is the Urban Decay One and Done foundation. I've been pulling out lighter foundations to use as we get closer to the spring and summer. It did definitely still snow quite a bit here in Minnesota in April, so haven't really experienced much of spring yet, but I absolutely love this foundation. The only bad thing about this is it doesn't have the best color range, but it does have SPF, which is awesome, and it's just a nice lightweight foundation that gives a nice, like, it just makes your complexion look really nice without being too heavy. So rediscovered this and absolutely love it. Next up, I purchased this right at the end of March, but I have really been loving this, and this is the number 7 bronzer in Golden Sand. It just has a nice sort of shimmery sheen to it, and it's not a matte bronzer. In the spring and summer, I definitely like to pull out more shimmery bronzers, so I've really been liking this. It's just like the perfect shade. Like, it almost looks like you can barely see it swatched here. It's almost like my skin tone, maybe just like a shade darker, but with just a bit of a sheen to it. So for me, that's the perfect shade bronzer. Not too dark, not too warm, just the perfect bronzer, and I've really been enjoying this. It's pretty affordable too. It's like $13, so maybe a little bit more expensive for drugstore bronzers, but as a whole, it's a more affordable bronzer. I have been loving this blush. This is by Flower Beauty. It is their Flower Pots Powder Blush. Or maybe, I just realized in a previous video I thought this was called Flower Pots, but it's actually called Warm Hibiscus, and the blush type is called Flower Pots. That's awkward and embarrassing. Anyway, I've been loving this blush in Warm Hibiscus. It has a really nice glow to the blush, so it just really nicely warms up the cheeks. It's not too overpowering and not so pigmented that you have to be like super careful, but I just absolutely have been loving this. I'll probably end up taking this with me to Vegas as well because I just love the sheen that it gives to the cheeks. I also rediscovered my Bite Beauty Agave lip mask. This has been a savior for me here in the still cold month of April. I just have mine in the clear. I've tried all the different shades, and clear just tends to be my favorite. Usually I just use this at night, and then sometimes I'll use it in the morning right away, but it is a little bit thicker, so it's not something that I like to reapply throughout the day. But I can put this on at night, and it just rehydrates my lips and brings them back to life, and doesn't leave them as cakey, crusty, and raisiny. Next up is a really old rediscovery, and that is the Urban Decay Shadow in the shade Chopper. I pulled this into my Shop My Stash or my Makeup Monthly basket, and I felt like when I pulled it in that I wasn't going to like it very much at all, but I've been using this just all over my lid on days that I go to work, and I really, really like it. This was like my ride or die shade in college, and I think I'm gonna keep using this throughout the month of May as well because I have really been enjoying this. 2 more that I bought in the month of March that I loved throughout April was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Omrezi highlight, or Omrezi, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. This is the perfect like champagne neutral highlight. I absolutely love it. I have it mixed with another highlight that I'm about to mention on my cheeks today, and I just absolutely love this highlight. It has quickly become one of my favorite highlights in my entire collection. Also have been loving the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. I'm sure you guys have seen this everywhere. This is just like such a perfect palette. I like that it has more brown shades in it than the Modern Renaissance. Sometimes I wouldn't use the Modern Renaissance on days where I go to work. I wear red to work every day. So I can't always get away with like the pinks and stuff for my eye looks, but I can get away with neutral brown looks. So I've been using this palette quite a bit and really been enjoying it. The other highlight that I wanted to mention was this ColourPop Super Shock Cheek highlight in Flexitarian. It's what I have mixed on my cheeks today. I really like this. It's an interesting formula though, because it's like that Super Shock. It's a little bit like you can kind of push on it and it's softer, not quite like a putty highlight, but kind of. So it's a little bit interesting to put on. Sometimes I just like swipe it on with my finger and then go in with a brush and blend it out. I found like that's the way that I like it best. I don't know if you'll be able to see it swatch, but it's a super intense highlight. So if you like a more subtle highlight, you probably won't like this. But if you like to look like a glazed donut, I may recommend this to you. Next up, I want to talk about this Bare Minerals Invisible Glow Powder Highlighter. So I had been using this as a highlight, more like a subtle highlight, and then I started to try to use it as a finishing powder, and I actually really enjoy it as a finishing powder. As you can tell, it definitely has some glow to it, but if you blend it away, it just gives a nice sheen to the face. There might be some specks of micro glitter in this, so this is definitely not going to be for everyone, especially if you're using it as a face powder or a finishing powder like I have been. But for me personally, I like to have a more glowy looking face when I finish my makeup. I definitely don't like to look matte at all, so I haven't really liked this as a finishing powder. I've also been enjoying this Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Mini. I don't know if this is an actual shade you can get. It's in the shade Margs. I got this in a holiday set. I feel like this is like exclusive to that set, so you might not be able to get it, so sorry for mentioning it, but it's just a really pretty neutral, almost your lips but better type of lipstick, but like a hint of like dusty rosy brown. I don't know, I just absolutely have been loving this shade, so I wanted to mention that. And then I have two mists to finish this favorites out with. Both are from Pixi. This is the Hydrating Milky Mist. I usually go in with this in the morning before I do my makeup, and I've really been enjoying it. It does a nice job of hydrating the skin and getting my skin ready for makeup. And then I have been finishing off with the Pixi Glow Mist. This is one of my absolute favorite finishing mists. I used it on my face today. I just feel like it gives like an intense glow. I have never personally used the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, but I feel like this might be a dupe for it, maybe. I don't know. I feel like this gives a very luminous look. I have a backup of this already because, as you can tell, I'm almost out. I'm going to bring this little guy with me to Vegas and finish it off, but yeah, I absolutely love this one too and would highly recommend. Alright you guys, after that, that is going to conclude my April favorites. Let me know in the comment box below what products you've been loving this month and any that you think I may need to go check out. Other than that, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to do so before you go. And other than that, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!